Welcome, 239 Uncensored Everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we have a great episode. I'm very happy to welcome Gina Tomlinson into the studio. And Gina, you've probably seen her. Yeah, whoa, get a little.
I'm in the house.
Yeah, in the house.
I'm trying to match your energy.
Yeah, you've seen her on TV several times. She's got a new YouTube channel, which is fantastic. We're going to talk about that in depth. And Gina, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Tim. I'm so excited that we finally get to do this.
Yeah, we've been kind of like trying to schedule everything, and it's so good to have you here. And it's exciting because you have a new YouTube channel, which we're going to talk a little bit about later. And it's really good, and it's positive.
Yeah.
So it's good. So exactly. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Gina. I know you've been in Southwest Florida. I detect that Midwest accent a little bit.
Yeah. It never goes away.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get into a little bit about what you're doing and what you're bringing to the community.
I have a very loving family. I have 2 brothers, a sister. I worked my butt off to get into college. I actually didn't really know what I was going to do until I took a class in high school that actually introduced me to reporting and editing and those things. And I really fell in love with it. And the teacher looked at me and he was like, you should go to college and become a TV reporter. Like, you'd be good at this. I always worked 2 jobs. I probably worked about in every occupation you can possibly imagine during my college and high school career. And then I went to Central Michigan University, graduated from there, fire up chips.
Yeah.
Have you heard of Central?
I have. I've heard of it, but I've never been to the campus.
There's a lot of Chippewas in Florida. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny when you move to Florida, like there's people from everywhere and you start to like, do you have like a group? Have you ever met with them?
No, but I have heard that there's actually like a reunion that they have every year. They go out in the Naples Princess. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, do that. And then, so you went to, now what would be the major that you take? Is it communications? Is it media, or what was it?
Not a lot of schools have it, but it's broadcast arts.
Okay.
And then I minored in journalism and sports management in case I wanted to be a sports reporter.
Yeah.
At one point I did, but there's a lot of, sexual harassment and sports reporting, and you have to know like everything about, golf. And I'm a real big hockey girl, but I'm not necessarily like a baseball girl,
So yeah, because if you're going to do sports reporting, you have a pretty good knowledge of all the different, football comes to town. We do have hockey here, which is good. We got the Everblades, right?
Oh yeah.
So then you got, football is my favorite. I enjoy that. So that's a good thing. But
what's your team? I'm
a big Pats fan. And you probably don't know this, but Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, and Edelman are going to be in Naples, Florida.
Oh.
I think tomorrow, maybe tonight. They might be getting here tonight, maybe tomorrow.
You should try to get him on the show.
Well, yeah, I like to try to get him on the show. But yeah, hey, Tom, you need to come down to the 239, jump on this podcast.
I'll be there right away.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get there. So how long have you been in Southwest Florida, and what brought you to Southwest Florida?
Well, actually, my first job was in Mississippi, Gulfport, Mississippi. And it's not really what you think when you think of Mississippi. I worked on the coast of Mississippi. So like Biloxi, Ocean Springs, it's kind of like a mini Vegas. Have you ever been there?
Yeah, I have.
It is awesome.
They've got Hard Rock there. There's casino, and it got hit really hard with the hurricane in the past. Several of them, I believe.
But they're building back.
Right.
So about 3 years ago, I came to Florida to work for Wink News, and I just fell in love. Like I don't think I'm ever leaving Southwest Florida. It is just absolutely fantastic. I was a Collier County reporter at Wink News for a while, and I really like doing that. I like this area and the beaches and everything. And I might not be out of the news forever here, but I'm here forever. Unless it gets too crowded.
It's just, we talk about it almost in every podcast that comes up. Like when you come to Southwest Florida, and I'm obviously particular to Naples, Lee County, you got a feeling. You land at the airport, no matter where I go, and I travel quite a bit, I come back and I'm like, oh, I'm just so glad to be here. New York City, I go there. I go to another country, Colombia. I go to, Europe. I come back and I'm like, wow, it's so nice. Southwest Florida it's like very manicured. It's just a nice place. And it seems like people for the most part, do the right thing here.
And that's what's so important, to highlight the things and the good in the world that people are doing, especially here. And it's so crazy to go just to Miami and then to see how people are like in the fast-paced environment, and then just coming back here, you get that feeling that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Tell me a little bit about your media career and how has that changed? It's pretty tough, like for these reporters and getting started in that type of job, because from my understanding, it's like used to be a day where people used to help you carry your gear, and you're kind of like bringing a lot of that stuff with you now, and you're kind of shooting wherever you can, and it's kind of tough, right?
It is not a glamorous job. Like, a lot of people think that you get your makeup done and your hair done before you go on TV. Like, no, you are in the thick of it. You are in the elements. Like, if you're reporting on red tide, you're out there breathing the air, like showing people that, yeah, don't come to the beach today. You're sweating like a just nasty woman. Like, people in the studio, they look so nice and they're,
Right.
tossing to me, and I'm on the beach sweating my butt off. Like, but you have to do your makeup at a crime scene in the car in the dark.
It's not like, and the hours, right? Like I see some of these reporters, I get up in the morning, I can't sleep. I turn on TV. It's like 4:30 in the morning, and people are in Fort Myers at Lehigh at some crime scene, or in Naples on the beach. And I'm like, it's 4:30 in the morning, and you guys are up.
Yeah.
And the hours in themselves has got to be just a tough grind.
It is tough, but I'm actually someone who doesn't like to sleep a lot.
Right.
That's probably my biggest weakness, honestly. So I kind of like the early morning shifts. The late night shifts, I'm naturally hyper myself. So when you're live reporting on something at 10 and 11, it's kind of hard to settle down and go to bed after that. But
yeah, no. And I'm the same way. You get wound up, and then it just takes a little bit to get me woken up, and then I'm off doing something else.
Yeah.
It's easy. So a little bit about your passion for the media. We talked about that, and you have this passion obviously for Southwest Florida. Let's go into a little bit about your newly formed YouTube channel, which is great. And the good thing about it, it's positive. It's Sunshine in 239, which I think is great. Tell us a little bit about it. What gave you the idea, and what are you trying to project to your viewers?
Unfortunately, there is a lot of mistrust in the media right now. And then some people are not watching the news because they're saying, when you talk to them, they're like, oh, well, everything is negative that comes on. It's a murder, it's a car crash, it's a robbery. I've always heard throughout my career, you need more happy stories, you need more positive news. Well, not everybody clicks on the stories that are posted online that are necessarily happy news. Like, you'll see like a car crash getting, 1,000 clicks or likes or whatever. I'm testing this theory out, and there are so many good stories and inspiring and encouraging things that go on in our community that are kind of swept under the radar. And I think now, with everything going on in our country, with COVID, people are just craving positivity and, trying to search for something to uplift their spirit. So I wanted to create something that's not hard to watch. It's something rather short, and just something that will lift people's moods, that is easy.
Yeah, and what's kind of neat about it is you go into businesses, local businesses, right? So, and I can tell you that people are going to watch it, and it's going to build. I mean, because it's great information. People are going to watch it, and they're going to say, I got to try that restaurant. Or I'm going to go, down on the beach where Gina was, and I'm going to, pick up something that she said on the broadcast. So it's bringing a lot of information to the people in Southwest Florida. And we all know that there people are moving here every day that don't really even know where certain things are, right? So it's just a good information. And I know you must have like a little like most ladies do. They have a little liking for animals, right? Because I know you always do a dog thing at the end, or an animal thing. I think you did the cat this last time. Yeah, that was really cool.
That was my first cat.
Yeah.
And actually, I have a cat named Kokomo. It's a Persian cat. I haven't had him as a pet of the week yet. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but he does have an Instagram account. And actually, his one of his recent videos went viral. It got like 30,000 views. And I was like, finally, people are recognizing the talent of my cat, because he is the cutest little thing in the world. And I love it so much.
Yeah. So the cat doesn't have legs. Is that correct?
Oh, the cat on the show?
On the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the one from the show.
He has legs. His two hind legs are paralyzed, actually.
Oh.
But he doesn't know it. And he just runs around. And I did do a story at Wink News about the cat at my time at Wink News. And I pitched it like every day. But just kind of crazy how there's more pressing things out there than a cat who, doesn't have the power of his hind legs. But what was cute about it is the shelter made wheels for the cat. They turned out to be too big, but he doesn't need them anyway. He runs around and he's completely fine. And Wink eventually did let me do the story. They ran it on a Sunday and a slower news day. And it was nice to see that cat got a happy
attention.
Home and is happy.
Yeah. And get attention too, right? He's got a cat gets, so in social media, like you throw a cat or a dog up there. I mean, you're getting like tons of likes and views and it's crazy, it's good. So, but yeah, so I think that's very, very a neat little feature in your show. So just a little bit more to it on the YouTube channel. What gave you the idea and what kind of inspired it and where do you want it to go eventually?
Well, right now, I kind of started out as a little bit of a hobby. I mainly work for a media company. It's called Leading Edge, and we do all kinds of like promo videos, in-depth stories. Like companies can hire me out to do a story on their company or interviews or, the like. But this is my own project, and I would really like to see it, take off on the internet. Maybe eventually just do like all of Florida, but we'll see what happens with it. I'm testing out the theory if people really like positive news.
Yeah, I think that positive spin, and like you said, with COVID, now we have the war going on. People want to see something that's gonna pick them up, and I think that's important. So you've been a news reporter for some time, right? So you have probably seen some pretty wild things. Like I said, I was in law enforcement for a long time. My listeners know that, and they've heard that. I've seen some pretty interesting things. What are some things that you have seen that you could share with us that was above and beyond that really sticks in your head?
Thinking right now, there was a pretty crazy story. Okay, do you remember the main character from School of Rock?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was actually caught stealing guitars out of one of the out of one of the pawn shops a while ago in Charlotte County. That was a crazy story. I actually talked to his mom, and she told me that he had an issue with drugs. It was just a crazy story.
Yeah, there's some things out there that can really kind of make your head go, what? Yeah. Really?
That one always sticks out to me. And remember the bear in Naples, in downtown Naples? That was a really fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another animal story.
Yeah. But a bear in downtown Naples.
I know, right?
It was such a big deal at the time. It was hilarious.
Yeah. And those stories that, again, it seems like you like the animals and things that are a little bit different, right? So as a professional doing this, what are some things that you have seen that have been hard to report on?
Oh my gosh. Well, the Naples police officer that passed away, I actually got an exclusive with his wife at that time. And it just it was very hard. Whew. It's really hard to interview somebody that, just experienced the sudden loss of their loved one. And you have to you're human first. And sometimes that can, hurt. But it's good to feel when you're doing a story, because that's how you construct the best story and commemorate their loved one that they just lost. But that was a tough one. I actually did a story back in Mississippi that reopened a police investigation. There was a mom who got into a bad crash with her two kids. Very sad situation. Both the kids were in the hospital. The dad had gotten a hold of me through social media and told me what was happening. He had a GoFundMe for the kids, and they were in really rough shape. He said that the mom was under the influence driving. I got the mom to interview with me. She actually said on camera that she was taking drugs and under the influence when she was driving, and that reopened their police investigation, got her charged, and the police, I handed over the raw tape of the interview, or raw recording, not
Right.
tape.
Yeah,
But
you can't tape anymore, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, some things are hard, like, car crashes. And if you go to the scene and I can't even imagine what covering the amusement park story right now that's going on.
Yeah, is it the one in Orlando? Was it
Yeah.
the one in Orlando
Yeah.
where the young boy fell out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually saw that video floating around on social media, and it absolutely ruined my day. Like, I could not do anything else but think about that. And it was so hard for me to see that graphic video. I can't believe there's a video of that incident out there. It's crazy.
Yeah. And they don't, obviously when you go to college and you take this profession up, you're human first, right? So there's going to be some times where you're going to really have difficulties doing stories, and you're going to see things that other people don't get a chance to see. And just like in law enforcement, I mean, because you're responding there. You see a kid laying in the street, got run over by a car. I mean, you probably been into some horrific car crashes. I think when I was there, it was the kids that really impacted me. But you're right. When you see this video of this kid, having a great time in his day, getting a chance to go on this amusement ride, and next thing you know, within a second, 2 seconds, he's flying out of this thing, and he ends up. I mean, in that one video, there were people that actually thought it was like parts falling from the ride. So it's they don't teach you that, right, in college, how to handle those things.
No, they don't. They
Yeah.
don't. But I was fortunate to have a newscast actually in college, so you could actually like get on TV. There was an actual, show that they did that broadcasted throughout the county, and so that really gave me some experience.
Yeah. And I think, I don't think you'll ever be numb to it, but obviously with the experience that you have, and then that certain things in life happen that way, right? So you have to report, you have to get the information out. So you kind of have to take a little bit of a different look. With that in mind, the situation in Ukraine with the war and the reporters over there, I mean, that's got to be crazy, right? Being in the middle. These guys, I'm going to these guys and go, why are you standing in the middle of a zone? But they're doing it to get the news. That's their job. That's their career. And I guess people have said that to me in law enforcement. We're running to the bullets while other people are running away.
Yeah,
people say that to firemen, right? You're running to the flames because it's your job, right? That's what you do.
Yeah, and it's funny. None of those three jobs really, people don't do it for the money.
Yeah, no, it's a good point.
Yeah, because nobody on TV does it for the money anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the national level. They're making money, right? But I've never wanted to be a national reporter. Like, I like to report in a community where I can know people, see them at the grocery store. Like, that's the level that I like.
Yeah, and you seem real good at that, and I think that's why that you've got that, because you have the personality, and not you.
Aw, shucks, thank you.
And not everybody can go into a business owner and say, "Hey, I'd like to do a story," because at first
I'd like to do a story.
Yeah, let me do a story. Yeah, yeah, so not everybody can do that. So to be able to do that and bring that to life is a big thing and real important. What do you see going on in your future? I mean, obviously you enjoy what you do now. You'd probably like to see it ramped up a little bit, right? Or no? What's your future look like?
Yeah,
because you're young, right? So you have a lot going on for you.
Oh yeah, I really like being in charge of myself right now and creating content, being in charge of the content that I put out. I'd like to see the YouTube grow, and I don't know if it'll be just on YouTube. It gets like 2,000 views right now on Facebook, and then YouTube probably a few hundred. I haven't had the time or the money to put in the efforts to promote it properly.
Right.
So I haven't gotten to get the word out there that much with it. But once I get a sponsor, which I have one interested.
Good.
So.
That's good.
So once I get some sponsors on board and try to kind of develop or strategize how I'm going to, make it bigger, I'll be able to spend more time to actually promote it and, you know,
Yeah.
increase it.
And it's like that we have the 239 Uncensored podcast. We have a lot of fun. So it's kind of like a hobby. We enjoy talking to people, meeting people, but we get a lot of downloads. I mean, it's like a lot of people hear it. Everywhere I go, it's like, hey, I heard that one story. So it's kind of cool. That's a neat thing. Not easy always to spend the time because I have a real estate business. I have 50 agents.
Right. You got to do the things that make
money,
money,
that make the money. But this is a really fun thing for me to do. So I catch myself going, all right, I got to go to the money thing, not the fun thing today. Exactly. So that's kind of what happens. But I think it's like a passion, and it's just it's really more of a fun thing. So, we're always here for you. Anything you need, we're here to help you out. Obviously we can collaborate and do anything that works for you and try to, because again, we're pushing the 239 the same way.
Yeah.
And we want to like expose the good things. And I do here at the 239, we do like charities. We have people coming on for that, people raising money. We kind of chuckle around and have some funny stuff as well, because we throw in the uncensored, but we're really not that bad. We kind of do that as a catchy title or phrase. So I think we have a lot in common on that part. But again, it's always good to be able to get the information out to everybody.
Yeah, and also what I feature every week is like local events, and I know that you do some of that too.
Yeah, we do. We try to go on Monday and Friday. Today we're jammed up here at the studio, but we go on Monday and Friday, and we try to give some sort of live. We have Shannon Livingston comes in. She's pretty knowledgeable what's going on, so we always try to bring that up. And we talked about maybe if you're an event, you can pop in on the camera, so it's always good. So
I'd love to do that.
Just that networking, I think, is going to be valuable. But I really appreciate you coming in. This has been a really good time. Like I said, you're always welcome. So it's a good thing to have, and we know that you bring a lot to the community, and we want to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, and I love what you're doing too, Tim. You have an awesome studio, and
thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been great. Now we always do this thing. We do a little fist bump, and it's 239 Uncensored, and we always say, "Out!" Hit it. Out. Yeah. She like bam. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I pack a punch.
Thanks, Gina. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. 239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we are out.